Yep, now we got the 5-minute rounds coming at you.
And yeah, a little bit of a difference here, like you started to mention, Brandon. There's going to be head kicks, there's going to be elbows, longer rounds.
One thing I do want to highlight at the top is that Walter did miss weight. We're going to see how that plays out.
Absolutely.
Unfortunate that he couldn't get that weight cut down in his first pro fight. But and he does look like the larger fighter in there.
Yes. So tall at his weight class.
Staying very patient here.
Both guys doing a good job of feeling one another out.
Yeah, I have not really seen David try to close that distance quite yet. It's going to be hard to do against the taller guy. But he seems incredibly explosive. Very well compactly built. Seems like he's going to be able to close that distance and be effective whenever he decides to go.
Yeah, and it looked like he was loading up on that right, and you saw him throw it there before he got into the clinch.
Yeah, it seemed like he almost tensed up as he threw it.
Yeah.
Like he didn't necessarily want to close that distance, but he was able to, and got pretty deep on that.
For the single.
But with that long frame of Walter against the cage, it's going to be very difficult to pull that out. And he's got the underhook here, staying patient. It seems like Walter could probably sneak under and get a second underhook if he'd like. But he seems to be a little more focused on tendering up those knees, keeping his position.
David just looks so strong here in the clinch. Even picking him up.
Got him off the ground here.
Had an attempt to throw some strikes there, but I think he just thought about it a little too late.
It seemed to be like some diminishing confidence after that failed takedown attempt. He almost turned away and kind of really shied away from the strike that came right after that from Walter. He's got his hands awfully low here. Walter starting to prod with that jab, getting more confidence as he's backing up the shorter fighter here, getting into his range so he can ultimately be effective with his strikes.
Yeah, starting to establish that jab a little bit. Nice knee to
Really
the body.
good left hook. Beautiful combination.
His coach is just, David Richardson's coach is calling for the knockout right now. Almost maybe they want him to throw that big right on one of the entries of Walter.
Yeah, try to time him as he's coming in, but he's staying long. He's not really at the range for that big right hand to land.
Yeah, he's got great range on that jab especially. And then what he was able to do so well is keep his head back on that knee, staying out of harm's way.
I would like for Walter to start throwing a little bit more than one, just to really set up that shot. I feel like he's going to be able to land that head kick with David's hands being so low, but I think he needs to just do a little bit better job of disguising it.
Yeah, he's got so much length on him. And look, I mean, David's dropping that right hand often, so that left head kick is definitely there for Walter if he wanted to throw it with the lead. Nice knee to the head. David's going to get into the clinch.
That was great timing with the knee there from Walter as he came in, but David was able to wear it and get to that body lock. And he seems a little bit closer here. He wasn't able to get his weight back the opposite way to continue that takedown, but he gets him there with the trip on the near side.
Good takedown by David Richardson. Very nice. It should definitely help him here in this round.
Yeah, you really eliminate that disadvantage you have in height and reach when you get the fight to the floor. So not surprised that that's his game plan here. But with the longer guy, you got to be careful of him throwing up his legs in guard. But Walter's just kind of staying patient, not really throwing anything up offensively yet.
Right.
Not a whole lot of offense from David here quite yet. Just kind of taking the fight slowly here. in these longer rounds, potentially a little bit more difficult to score. You know, you had probably about 4 minutes of success from Walter compared to 1 from Richardson, but it was that last minute.
In his actual first round of the fight, so we'll see how that helped his headspace as well.
Absolutely. They believe that they won that round. They injected that into their fighter, and let's see if that gives them the confidence to close that distance and execute that game plan.
Again, this is Cage Thunder 23. The start of our pro fights is Walter Savane in the red, David Richardson in the blue. We appreciate you all for tuning in. There's that jab from Walter.
Yep. And then when he went through it that second time, it seemed like David had a better read on it and decided to throw that right hand and close the distance.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him throw the left and close the distance there.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of jabs. There's been a lot of overhands to double leg body lock attempts, and tries to go for the trip once again, unsuccessful.
David might have a chance to drop to a single here. No, Walter's doing a good job of defending.
Yeah, when you're a guy that, it's hard going against a guy that long to isolate one of those limbs like that.
Big shot landed by Walter.
Good timing on the entry.
Big double leg takedown by David Richardson.
He did not let him establish that long frame against the fence, where ultimately Walter's had a lot of success defending takedowns. Got under him and was able to dump him. Excellent job, and it looks like he's able to set up an arm triangle here potentially. Always starting the posture up here. Being a little more active this round, I like that.
Yeah, a very different Walter this round and a very different David this round than what we saw in the first.
Yep. I think that was in large part because of David being in a fight this long before and being comfortable as the fight goes on. He kind of eased himself into things, didn't expend too much energy in the first round, might have lost the early part, still potentially stole it, but is in the driver's seat in the rest of this fight going forward. But Walter uses that length and pushes off and gets back to his feet, and a very good jab.
Good head movement by Walter Saw.
Yep, he's still seeing things very well. Punches still seem to be coming in pretty quick as well. See if he can exploit some of the openings that David's leaving with that big right hand.
And there's the kick.
I think it would serve him to start working the body.
Yeah.
To really set that up. Good leg kick. And still only one shot from Walter. Not a lot of combinations.
Correct, Brandon. I'd like to see more combos out of Walter here, especially when he's backing him up the way he just was. You know, he walked him about halfway around the cage just now.
Absolutely. Because, you know how much space he has to close to get to you. So, usually it's not going to be that first shot that lands, but he can really rotate himself onto that second one.
Yeah, you see him walking him down again, get him on the cage and throw a combo. Wow, nice single leg grab by David, but he can't finish it. Walter doing a good job at fighting hands.
Absolutely. I think it's a good thing that David wasn't a little bit taller, because that kick went just over his head there, and he actually set it up with the jab. So good job from Walter. Recognizes that he needs to do a better job of extending combinations to find those landing shots.
Yep.
Another good lift there by David, but Walter looking to hit the switch.
And David looks so strong.
And David's able to secure the position. For the moment, Walter works his way back. He's got 45 seconds to work here.
Yeah, a little less than a minute left. You'd really want to see Walter try to put something together here at the end of this round, much like David did in the first.
Absolutely. He's got his fighter against the cage, and seems like David could potentially be slowing down here. He was really kind of pushing forward. He had confidence early part of the round, but all that grappling and that body type can really exhaust you. Walter throwing some knees here. It's important to point out that even though this is a pro fight and you can throw knees to the head, on the feet you cannot on the ground.
Correct.
So he needs to be careful with where he places those.
And Walter gives him a combo at the end of the round from David.
Absolutely. He's still doing a good job keeping range, popping the jab. I would just like to see a little bit more out of him. And he did a really good job timing a knee as he closed the distance on a shot. Maybe look for him to time another one of those in this round.
Yeah, the knees have been nice by Walter today.
Because the game plan is very clear at this point for David. You can even see David looking at the hips, looking very low, trying to make him expect the takedown. Maybe he's trying to set something up with the hands, though.
And Walter goes for that head kick again, but he misses. It's almost like David's kind of tempting him to do it at this point with how low that right hand is.
Absolutely, yeah, both hands low. I think that's a result of the fatigue. And constantly on the back foot here. Really hard to get takedowns when you're going backwards like that. Walter right in his face, getting reads, faking, feinting.
Yeah, from Walter, I'm making him think low, throw some calf kicks, throw some body shots, really get his hands low on purpose, and then try to set up one of those head kicks or just a shot to the head.
Yeah. I think it's maybe too late in the fight for him to execute that body kick to set up that head kick.
Yeah.
But I would just like to see a little bit more from Walter because he seems to be the fresher guy, and he's landing when he starts to go.
Both guys are talking to each other. David Richardson saying, come on, come on, come on.
Yeah, he's really egging him on here. He's trying to get him to overcommit so he can get that shot. That's a good body kick from Walter.
Yeah, I even think it might have swept up to the chin.
Not great posture here from Richardson, excuse me.
Yeah, hands on the hips.
But he gets him where he needs him. Yeah. He's closed the distance, got the clinch, but Walters works his way out. We got 3 minutes left to go here. Walter still looking good, and a good body kick again.
Very nice body kick by Walter Savane. And I think that Walter's starting to make David think of everything now, which is what he needed to establish a little earlier, but he's establishing now.
But he still gets to the hips.
Yeah, he gets a nice double with still about half the round left, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do.
Absolutely, and when it seemed like Walter was really taking control of the fight, he lets Richardson in his range and drive him all the way back. It's good that Walter has his back against the cage. He can use that long frame and try to build up. Starting to open up his guard here so we can start building. So there's been great control here from Richardson throughout the entirety of the fight, especially, on the ground, but no damage at all. Pretty damaging slam, though. Lets it go of his opponent briefly, and it gives enough time for Walter to scramble back up to his feet.
Yeah, Richardson's got about less than 2 minutes here with that second takedown, as even though there wasn't much ground control that second time around, he needs to show some offense to the judges here after that. Walter didn't show much in the beginning of the first round, but showed some. Yeah, great knee to the body. He just seems so tired.
Absolutely.
Great double leg, though.
Can't seem to do too much about the wrestling, and maybe that's the fatigue on his side showing as well. He's grimacing there.
He looked like he was almost standing up that time, actually, Walter was.
Yeah, did not have the lower stance, and Richardson once again able to get under him.
Grabbing the cage there.
Referee,
good job of noticing that.
Absolutely.
Wow! A third takedown. And I can't believe he's getting these because they're not the prettiest looking shots, but I mean, there's got to be a lot of power behind him maybe.
Absolutely, he's still relying on that explosion, and that's why you're seeing him, not establishing the position when the fight does hit the ground, and Walter's able to eventually scramble up to his feet. But both guys are awfully exhausted here. Looks like he's got the leg up. Just relentless takedown attempts here from Richardson. Strong way to end the round. And sets him down gently.